Reasons why Cass from Supernatural is an autistic icon I can get behind. For those who don't know, Cass is an angel. He comes on to Earth and starts helping Dean and Sam fight ghosts and stuff. Reason number 1, interoception. Dude comes on Earth, doesn't eat, sleep, drink, or go to the bathroom until he's like, oh, that's what people do? Like, I will pretend to do all of those things. Same. I also have poor interoception, Cass. I get it. 2, he doesn't understand sarcasm or, like, the meaning behind things besides what they are for face value. You'll see often when someone uses an idiom, he's like, that doesn't make any sense. The clouds don't cry, they can't cry, they don't have eyes, stuff like that. 3, Buddy doesn't understand how to be social. He has no concept of personal space, always in people's spaces, and he blurts out things that, like, were supposed to be secrets because, like, what are the concept of secrets? Like, everyone should know that there are ghosts on this earth. And 4, his friendship with Dean is very codependent because Dean tells Cass what to do and what needs to be done explicitly, which is something that Cass, as a rule follower, loves to hear and loves to do. Love you, baby. Someone literally said to me that the reason why boys get diagnosed with autism more than girls is because more boys are autistic than girls. Guys. That guys was gender neutral, by the way. Guys! Do you ever think that maybe it's because so many girls are misdiagnosed? Yes, out of all the people that are diagnosed with autism right now, like, most of them are males. But that doesn't mean that there aren't so many girls out there that are misdiagnosed. I know girls who are 65 that are just getting diagnosed with autism. Can you imagine how hard that would be, having masked 65 years of your life? Like, how exhausting would that be? And to now discover who you are after you have a family and you've tried to find some kind of security in the world, and now you're a grandmother and you're just learning all these things. We need to fix this. We need to study females with autism. We need to save these girls' lives. Autism is a spectrum. Cool, but it's not linear. A lot of people think that the spectrum goes from more autistic to less autistic. Like, you know, low functioning, high functioning. It doesn't. The spectrum actually looks more like a color wheel, okay? And all the colors around the outside are different autistic traits. And you're in the middle, and some traits you show a lot of, and some you don't. Overall, though, you've got all or most of these traits. Yes, some people are nonverbal, some people are codependent, some people don't have a job, some people never will. But that also doesn't show what they are in each of the billion other traits. Okay, billion's an exaggeration, but like many other traits. Poor social skills, parallel play, anxiety, depression, your posture, the way you speak, eye contact, all that stuff. Everyone shows different levels to each different trait. Just because you see that someone's doing okay doesn't mean they actually are okay. That's why high functioning and low functioning don't exist. And it's not a compliment. Hey, see how you said that you want to have your own kids? Yeah, so that's actually a pro-choice. Choice to do what you want with your own body. I feel the same. I do want kids, definitely. And if I were to get pregnant and if it was an accident, then I still don't think that I would or could be able to, like, mentally, whatever, have an abortion. I think that I would keep it. That doesn't make me pro-life, though. I'm still pro-choice because that is my choice, and I want everyone else with a uterus to choose what to do with their own body, just like you're saying here. Both pro-lifers and pro-choicers have morals, very strong morals, and the difference is, what do you care about more? And for most that are pro-choice, it's people with uteruses' bodily autonomy to not have to sacrifice their whole body for 9 months if they don't want to. And for pro-lifers, it's they care more about the thing growing inside of them than the human being carrying it. They both make a lot of sense. I'd like to remind you that no one wants an abortion, so we should be preventing unwanted pregnancies rather than preventing abortions. Hey, we got the Billie Eilish accent challenge. Okay, start. Number 1. You're committed, I'm your crime. Number 2. I don't wanna be you anymore. Numero 3. You really know how to make me cry when you give me those ocean eyes. Number 4. Like it like that. Number 5. I'm the bad guy. Duh. Number 6. How I lost myself again. And number 7. Hello, welcome home. I'm just gonna make a little series of this because I know I look like butt right now, so don't at me. I'm having a weird day. But I get a lot of people that say that diagnosis is important. People just want to categorize themselves, you know, feel special, have certain things that are given to them because now they have a label. Like, let's not label people. We're all, you know, everyone's a little weird. Everyone's a little autistic. I don't know if you guys know, but that is pretty invalidating and makes me upset for a couple of reasons, okay? My first reason is that when I was asking and begging for help to everybody before I was diagnosed, no one took the time or care or thought that I was deserving or in need of help. It wasn't until I tried to end my life when I was 14 that my parents and doctors and teachers finally were like, oh, so there's something wrong with you. It wasn't until I was hospitalized after that attempt that I was diagnosed with autism. I'm gonna go make another part to this video. It's 2. Hi, welcome to part 2. In the last part, I was talking about how no one took me seriously, that I was mentally not okay until I did something very drastic and scary, and something that if it worked, I would not be here. And that is terrifying and sucks, and I don't want anyone else to ever go through that and have that be the reason why people take you seriously. So back to my point, saying that I'm really sick of people that say, like, we need a diagnosis and a label and everything. Like, one, I want you to know that I was not looking for a label or a diagnosis of any type ever, but even people that do are still very valid, but that's just something that I want to get across from my point of view. And I also want you to know that my diagnoses are not labels that I can categorize myself into to make me, you know, feel special. I'm alive right now because of my diagnoses. Because once you have a word or a label, I guess, you can look into it and figure out what it is and what it means and how it works. Part 3. Welcome to part 3. My point is, being diagnosed with a disorder is like finally understanding who you are. It gave me so many avenues to look at and figure out what works best for me, how I can get help in being okay, how to function, how to work out my life. And it is so amazing to know that you are not crazy, you are not, you know, you're not a defect, you're not an alien. There are people that are like you, that have similar experiences, and now you have an avenue where you can learn more about yourself, about the community, and you feel like you finally belong and understand a little bit more. I don't want to see anyone making fun of someone or going at someone for trying to get a diagnosis, okay? It is so freeing in so many ways. Oh, and I have one more thing to say. Okay, hi, part 4. This is just the last thing that I wanted to talk about. When it comes to diagnosis, I want everyone to know that self-diagnoses are and have to be valid. I understand that a professional diagnosis makes everything, you know, like 100% concrete, maybe like 99% concrete. But I want you guys to know that a professional diagnosis is a privilege, okay? It's not something that everyone can maintain. I am quite privileged. I recognize my privilege. I think if you don't, that's another issue. I did get a professional diagnosis. I actually have a few. I live in Canada. We have free healthcare. I was also under the age of 18, so I was a child. I also am white. So there's, you know, 3 privileges right there to getting an autism diagnosis, especially. Some people can't afford one. Some people, you know, are oppressed or have weird personal prejudices from the doctors against them and can't get diagnosed. Disclaimer, please don't self-diagnose unless you do a hell of a lot of research. But yeah, thanks, come to my TED Talk.
Is that their phone? Oh, I hope they get it back.
Oh my god, they forgot their textbook. Yeah, I saw somebody. They went that way. I don't know, and then they said that wasn't true. What's that person doing? They look kind of silly. What are they wearing? Wait, sorry, what did they order? Oh my god, someone's hurt. We should help them. I helped an old person cross the street today. They were so nice. Oh my god, such a cute dog. What's their name? They said that? Frig, they need to smarten up. I don't know, I feel like they can do whatever they want. Are you serious? What's wrong with them? Oh my god, you're so funny. They're so funny. I don't think that's what they meant, though. Do you think they'd be mad if I used their phone charger? Are they coming? Oh, I can't wait to see them. Who do they think they are? I hope that they find help. Do they have a place to sleep? They can crash on my couch. Wait, what did they say? See? Let's learn more about masking. So every time I talk about masking, people go, everyone does that. Well, it's not called masking if you're neurotypical. And it's also not the same thing. Personality is fluid, and that is completely normal to have a fluid personality that adapts to whatever situation you're in. That's not what masking is. Masking is suppressing traits that make you neurodiverse in public or around people that you're not comfortable with. Most of us learn it at a really young age as like a safety measure to keep ourselves safe and for people to not be treating us poorly. The best way I can describe it is you are an alien, and if anyone finds out you're an alien, they're going to kill you. So you have to act human as possible. Then when you find out you're autistic, you're like, but I'm not myself, and I'm not this mask that I've been portraying, so who am I? It's incredibly stressful and very draining. It can lead to a lot of burnouts. That's why it's important for society to be aware of autistics and how we act so we can learn to not mask. PSA, homophobia isn't just, I hate gay people. It actually can look like this. Oh my god, the gays make everything about them. Why do they get a whole month of pride? Do they really have to kiss in public? Oh my god, that commercial. The kids are gonna see that and think they're gay. Okay, but like, which one of you is the girl in the relationship? I mean, I could never, because, like, I think that's disgusting, but, like, do you? Oh my god. You don't have a crush on me, do you? I don't know, she, like, totally stares at us when we're changing, you know? Does every place need to have a frickin' pride flag? Oh my god, you're, like, open about it? That's so brave of you. They literally have equal rights, like, what are they fighting for? Haha, that's so gay. Yeah, it's just a phase, you'll get out of it. I only date girls that have only been with girls before. She's bi, so she's down to have a threesome. Isn't he scared you're gonna, like, cheat on him with everybody? I'm a guy who just hates when gay guys look at me, you know? Yeah, I watch lesbian porn, why?
Homeless people, just get a job.
Okay, what about they don't have a computer or a printer to make a resume? What do they do for that? You can probably go to the library and get one. Okay, let's say that they have a library card and can do that. What about contact information? How is an employer gonna contact them? And let's say they do get an interview, okay? How are they going to look at the interview? In a way that employers find desirable? Okay, and let's just say that they do get the job, okay? Most jobs don't pay in cash, so they're going to need a bank account. And what do you need for a bank account? A home, bro. An address. But let's just say that they do get paid in cash, okay? They still can't buy a house because the bank has no proof of income to give them a mortgage. Unless they plan on saving up $500,000 or more of cash so they can buy a house with no mortgage. Where are they gonna keep that cash safely? Their home? Their bank account? PSA, saying that someone doesn't look like they have a disability or a disorder is very invalidating. It comes with the mental health stigma that I'm sure a lot of you preach on, like, Bell Let's Talk Day, that we should try to remove the stigma, but in order to do that, you need to understand that mental illnesses and disorders exist despite you not being able to see them. That's kind of like the whole point. They're mental. Can you see my brain? Probably not. So, yeah. There are common traits that are expressed, and people put those in place so you can more likely tell if you associate with a certain disorder because, yeah, they're mental, so it's hard to figure out unless you demonstrate these traits. And of course, we are all different human beings with different brains, so everyone does things differently. They learn things differently, they express things differently, so these traits are never 100% accurate across the board. So please recognize that mental disorders are not visible, they are in here, and if we ignore anybody with those disorders because we can't see them, we are going backwards in trying to reverse the stigma around mental illness. Okay, let's talk about something real quick, okay? Today I have seen 2 different types of people using that fucking audio. Well, Alice, it seems like we both have autism. Well, that's good to know. And it's them being like, oh, when me and my best friend both fail a test, when me and my best friend are both, like, really dumb, we're autistic. Autism and being dumb are not synonyms, okay? And I will tell you for a fact. Hi there, I'm autistic. I am also the smartest person I have ever met, okay? I have never failed a test. Actually, I've never gotten below 90 on any of my tests and never below a 95 in any of my fucking classes, okay? That's not speaking for everyone, though. There are people, autistic people are all over. You can have any type of smartness level, but using autism as an insult to say that you're dumb is untrue and ableist. Fuck off, okay? Thanks. New to the whole Marvel and DC universe. I'm new to all of the superheroes and stuff, And last night I just watched the Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix, and I just wanted to say something. As someone who's mentally disabled, the entire time I was like crying because I'm like, that's me. I'm not saying that I plan on killing anybody. I do not plan on killing anybody, and that's not a thing that I would ever do in my life. I'm not condoning murder, but I feel like a lot of people watched it and were like, Joker's a bad guy. Oh, like, that sucks. Like, bro, that's legit. That's what happens. I just think like we have these systems in place to help it, but these systems aren't working and they're broken. Ableism is fucking real and it's killing people. Not just the people it affects, obviously. I don't know, it just hit me really hard because I was like, yep, absolutely. There's like not a lot of help out there. I don't know, I just think that if these systems are a thing, like they should fucking work.
Y'all do really be out here being pro-life unless that life is black, a woman, gay, trans, disabled, not adopting kids or doing anything about kids in foster care, don't have a vasectomy or a hysterectomy. Better yet, don't use protection when you're having sex. Better yet, actually have sex for fun and not for just producing a child. Jerk off, because those are things that could have been babies. Have a period, because those are things that could have been babies. Here's the thing, y'all ain't pro-life. You ain't pro-life. What do you do about the lives? What do you do about the lives? What are you doing? No, you're anti-choice. Point blank, period.
I've recently gone off my meds, and I want to tell you guys a few things about what I've discovered. So I've been on medication since I was 15. The medication I'm taking is SSRIs, and it's always been SSRIs, but the dosages have changed, and so have the types of them. One thing is I'm having a really hard time talking for some reason. And one other thing that's really big is I'm very, very anxious. So I wanted to tell you guys that because I haven't been on here a lot because my anxiety's tremendous. And I went off because I thought that it was just burnout that I was feeling because I was still very depressed. And so maybe I can, figure that out. So I thought that it was going to be a good thing. But I don't know if it's a good thing because I'm really stressed. It's being on meds helped my anxiety but worsened my depression, and being off is the opposite. So I don't know if I'll be going back on or if I'll go into SNRIs instead, but I think that where I am right now is not okay. But it's really weird and I don't like it. I don't know though. So if you guys see a difference in me, that this is why. This is me, not medicated. I get told a lot that I should not be talking about autism because I am high functioning. I have a couple problems with that. First off, I'm autistic, so fuck yourself. Second off, high functioning is not a compliment and really not a thing. When people say high functioning, it really means like, your autism doesn't affect me that much because you're really good at hiding it and acting and pretending to be normal. Or like, you're verbal, you work, you're independent. You're only a little bit autistic, so it's not that bad. Yeah, I am all those things, which is why I have the privilege to talk about it and bring awareness to it. Being called high functioning is stressful. It's not a compliment. It just shows that I suck at being myself. Just like being called low functioning would not be a compliment. If we're talking about function here, I function very poorly. I am not functioning well. But I'm high functioning because I can talk and assimilate myself to look like you. If you look at a kid and you're like, your functioning sucks. Like, that sucks! That's dismissing any of their strengths. High and low functioning is harmful.
Drinks are recorded here on the Good Noodle Board.
Huh? Oh, sorry. Whoa!
There are a couple things that happen when our brains are developing, but one thing that happens is pruning away of neurons that are not helpful and not needed. Just thousands of cells that are like, no, you don't really need us, so we're just gonna stop working, and that's fine. And it's absolutely fine, don't be stressed, oh my god, my neurons, like, no, they're already gone, don't even worry about them, it happens to mostly everybody, it's not detrimental, you can still do all your stuff. And that's like the point, it makes it easier for you to have those other connections that actually work and do the things that you need it to do. Autistics, however, yeah, a lot of our neurons didn't do that. We actually have 67% more neurons and more synapses than a neurotypical. Oh my god, so that's why you're so smart? Well, okay, let's talk about that for a second. Because the whole point of pruning them is now you have the other neurons that are stronger and have the right pathways to make you do the right thing. Now we just got all these extra neurons that don't connect to other things very well. So our brain's kind of stuck in a loop in just one section.
And I really wanna know where you at.
If you do the thing, and you do it right, and you don't fuck it up, it works. It just works.
Before we start this video, I just want to say that I have a migraine, so my right eye is not focused whatsoever, so if it looks like I have a lazy eye, that is the truth. But this is to everyone out there that's messaged me or hasn't and is studying to be an ABA therapist and is now realizing that that is not the best path to take. First off, I want to say, I'm sorry for telling you right now while you're in all your school. But second thing I want to say is thank you. That's really cool that you actually want to help autistic people and you're realizing that the path that you're taking is not the right one. So yeah, the actual autistic community, not parents of autistic kids, but people that are actually autistic that have experienced ABA, say that ABA is bad. Most of us, not all of us, but pretty much most of us. And there are lots of studies you can look at of autistic people saying or recording how they feel about ABA. But there are like hundreds of other therapies that don't use ABA tactics in them. Do those. You seem like you're a good person and you're gonna help so many people. When people say autism is a spectrum, they don't mean a linear line. They mean something like this. This is because there's a whole array of traits that one can have. So for example, that's me. And that is just one pixel out of freaking a million different pixels. My pixel means very, very, very high anxiety, depression, OCD, and also hypersensitivity to light and textures and hyposensitivity to taste. But there are a lot of different pixels, so let's look at this one. So that pixel can mean low anxiety, maybe they are non-verbal, so they speak with sign language, and they have hypersensitivity to taste, hyposensitivity to textures. Let's also not forget that a lot of these traits come in extremes. So while I'm hypersensitive to light, so my eyes hurt all of the time, some people can be hyposensitive. And just because I'm hypersensitive to light doesn't mean I'm not hyposensitive to other things. Remember that we're all different and we all have different traits. You cannot categorize us into high functioning or low functioning. We're just humans. I will not wear a mask. That is the government trying to control us. Becky, you literally were assigned a number at birth where they know all of your information, where you live, your birthday, how much money you're making, and where you're spending it. If you have a debit card or a credit card or a house or children, they know everything about that. And you think that the government asking you to not spit on people is controlling you? They've been controlling you since birth. Don't spit on me. Wear a mask. Hey, when's your birthday? March 1st. Okay. When's your birthday? Autism in girls, part 1. When doctors were studying autism, they only studied males. This makes it harder for anyone else to be diagnosed because everything is based off the male brain. This sucks. Girls usually end up showing different traits than guys do, which is why it can take us years to get diagnosed. I was 15 when I got diagnosed, and that's considered early for a girl. I have a guy friend who's autistic, and he was 2 when he got diagnosed. A main reason as to why girls are so late to get diagnosed is because we are particularly good at one thing that guys are not so good at when it comes to autism. And this is something we call masking. Masking is basically just being like a really good actor. It's where you take traits that everyone else is showing and start portraying them as yourself. It's like a lot of copying going on. But in your mind, you don't think you're copying, you think that this is normal and everyone feels the same way that you do. You basically feel like an alien and you're really good at hiding that. Which is why I don't seem autistic. Autism in girls, part 2. This one's kind of about autism in general, but I feel like a lot of them are, but a lot of it is just like my opinion because I am a girl. Get high functioning and low functioning out of your vocabulary. It doesn't help anybody. I know you might think that like saying like, oh, you're high functioning is a compliment. It's not a compliment. It's actually like a reminder that I'm just masking and it's so hard. Masking is the most exhausting thing in the world. It's my New Year's resolution actually to not mask. That means showing my autistic traits and not, pretending like I'm someone I'm not and just being more myself. High functioning is basically a label that you can use to be like, oh, your autism doesn't affect me that much. But I'll tell you, everyone you think is high functioning is greatly affected by their autism. Autism's already hard. Masking is harder. It's just like a little microaggression that is really, it sucks, okay? There's no such thing as high functioning and low functioning. We're all just autistic. Autism in girls, part 3. Common traits for girls that have autism. Now, a lot of the following pertain to me. A lot of them also don't pertain to me, okay? And this is totally broad because everyone's different, okay? Remember that. A lot of people, when they think of autism, think of like less social, not super good in social situations. In a lot of girls, and why it's so hard for us to get diagnosed, it's the complete opposite. I am overly social. I give way too much eye contact. I'm really good in social situations. It's also very common for girls with autism to have other mental disabilities or mental disorders as well. I have 7. Yummy! And one of the main ones is OCD. All of these mental illnesses stem from having autism, but OCD, anxiety, and depression are very, very common, especially in girls. Just the feeling that the world needs rules for you to understand it. That's why a lot of autism special interests include things like anatomy, the human body, psychology, just figuring out how the world works. It's our way to figure out how to live in it. This is Autism and Girls Part 4. Paige, what is masking? Like, is it masking or is it just like being a human in society? It's so hard to explain when you're not autistic and you don't understand what it's like, but I will try. When you're in the autistic closet and you are not known to be autistic yet, and you don't know yourself that you're autistic, you like subconsciously like know that you're weird and you don't know how to act or how to be. So you just pick up everything else. It's not just small, like, you know, behave and be quiet and eat with your fork and your knife, whatever. It's like the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you wear your hair, like the way your mannerisms, like everything you say, everything you think that you enjoy. It's all what you are accustomed to from your peers. I've been diagnosed for 4 years and I'm still trying to figure out who I am and what I actually like to do. You just get so used to creating this mask that when it's like, hey, you can take it off, we're like, what the frig is underneath it? I don't know what's going on. Autism and girls. Special interests, like regular interests, but heightened. This is a very common trait in like pretty much, I would say every autistic person I've ever met has a special interest. And special interests change over time or they can stay constant. A special interest is just like something that you're interested in, but it is just so much of your life and you learn every single thing about it and you can research it forever and you're just so passionate about it. A lot of special interests come from understanding the way the world works. So for example, and this kind of makes sense, my special interest has always been anatomy. I wanted to be a doctor for the longest time. I still kind of do, like I kind of want to be a surgeon, just to understand like how this world functions. A lot of common ones are history, like wars, anatomy, psychology, sociology. But there's also special interests that are just cool, you know, and you just want to know everything about it and learn everything about it. Don't ask me about my special interest because I will talk about it for like 5 years.